Welcome to Rise Up. I'm Alia Halal.
And I'm Ardian.
And this is a very special show today because we are going to be doing today's show with a very dear brother, Soheil Sima. How are you doing, Soheil?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We're so super excited that we get to do today's show with you. It's a bit different. It's a bit new, but we thought, hey, let's do it with Soheil this morning. Why not?
Why not? Thank you for having me.
So, Soheil, before we jump into the main meat of the show,
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about you and where you come from and what you do. How about we give the audience a bit of background about yourself?
Sure. I am 40 years old. I live in Los Angeles County, California. I'm an accountant, and I have a family that I love dearly.
That's beautiful. And so you're from California.
Yes.
And you're here now in the United Kingdom with us. And it's because you believe in this call and in the rise of Prophetic. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get to know about it? When was that?
So my journey started about a couple of years back in March 2023. And when it started, it was not a dream. It was more than that. It was true. And I had a vision that I was literally in bed, and in my dream, an orb, a white orb just came down from the ceiling. And I think I sat on the bed. I tried to reach to it. And then the orb shoot up, and I actually woke up from my chest up, and my entire body was vibrating, and it was very, very unique. I Googled it, and I realized millions of people are having rapture dreams, and that's how my research started. And as I researched more and more, I came to know Abba Sadeh, and then I started reading the books and watching the videos and putting my due diligence, and now I'm here with you guys.
That's a pretty intense experience.
Yeah, it really is. And that was the start of the whole journey, right?
That was the start of the journey, the spiritual journey. Yeah, I always, throughout my life, I knew that there's more to life than just this that we see.
More than just the physical. Just
the physical, because we're all made of two things, the material world that we see, and the spiritual world, which is within us, the light and the soul. And throughout my life, I had a lot of experiences, a little bit, taste of what's about to come. And now, in 2023, when I had this vision, it actually started me this spiritual journey. And as I progressed more and more and more, I saw more visions. I had more synchronicities. And I went through the ego death, and it has been a very interesting 2-3 years, and I'm loving it. It's different. It's very different.
So you had this experience, and you're saying this is like a very unique one. You hadn't had it before. It makes me wonder what you were kind of practicing before. Did you have a practicing religion? Were you doing something in terms of religion before this interesting experience happened?
I was born Muslim, but that's is the religion that you're born with.
Right.
You have to born again, as Jesus said. You have to reborn again. And I was reborn. I kind of prayed here and there, when I was low in my spiritual, and when I was in college, when you're have issues in life, work, life in general, and so you come to God. You do pray, you do read your religious books, but then that's kind of a stop, because when life catches up and you're like in a good rhythm, you stop. But when you see things around the world that is changing, and not to the better version of the earth, and you question things that, where's it going to end? Everything that has a beginning has to have an end. And this ending does not look good,
right?
Because as you see, it doesn't matter which section of life that you're in, if you're an engineer, if you're in politics, if you and study earth science or astrological, planetary science, everything that's indicating that something is wrong and we're closer to something.
Right. Everything is kind of looking a little bit downhill in that sense.
Exactly.
And that's when, as you said very well, people start to look for the thing that gives hope, the light. There must be something out there, right? And you said it very well. Everything that has a beginning has an end. And as believers in this religion, we definitely do believe that there is an end to the reign of tyranny, to the reign of oppression and misery for the people in general. But I guess, as you said, the human being wants to look for that path for themselves and say, where's my journey on this? Where's my place on it? And you said that in that research that you were doing, you ended up stumbling across Abu Sadiq. Can you give us a bit more specific detail on how that happened?
Of course. So I started searching about eschatology and times, and in every religion. So in Judaism and Christianity and Islam and Hinduism. And because my background is Shia Islam, and I decided, okay, let me study that. And in Shia eschatology, they talk about the Yamani, the Sufyani, the Khurasani, and so on. And when I was studying about the Yamani, I stumbled upon Ahmad Hassan Yamani. And after listening to his sermons, I researched more. And then I found Abdullah Hashim. I found Ahmad Hassan Yamani first, and then Abdullah Hashim, and then I started listening to the channels and his sermons. And as I progressing, I was more enlightened because while I was listening to Abdullah Hashim, I was studying the Quran, I was studying the Old Testament, the New Testament, Hinduism, everything is everything is combined. Everything is connected.
You really jumped in. You really went in deep.
I did. You have to do your due diligence in order to find, because you can't live life without knowing. Like, if you want to buy a house, you want to do research on that. If you want to have a kid, you see how can you raise a healthy son. So same with the spiritual journey. If you want to have a spiritual journey, you have to know the laws and regulations in that frame. And in that frame, we all are creatures of God. God created us. There's only one God. And all the religions are combined. And it's just the Satan's play that divide and conquer. So it divided all the religions in a way that Muslims and Christians and Jews and Hindus are not seeing eye to eye. And that's why they have to, and that's what Abdullah Hashim is doing, is bringing everyone together, because we're all one. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all children of Adam. We're all children of Noah.
Absolutely.
And, either through Shem, Hem, or anyone, any of the children. So we're all...
That's so beautiful that you put it that way, and you
put
a very...
Sisters.
It's a very deep concept. I think Soheil put it really eloquently in very simple terms. I think this is what people need to kind of come to grasp with, is that we are a family, even though it looks so diverse and so varying. Somewhere along the line, people forget that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I think makes us all unique here in this call, is that we all came for the same reasons. We all came because we saw that the world wasn't seeing eye to eye. We saw that there is something that everyone can agree with, which is that there is an end times figure. There is that, I guess, messianic figure that comes that everyone is looking forward to. But when they find him, they find that he's not just catering to one group or sect or religion. He's actually taking all of the different religions out there, and he's showing the truths that were hidden within all of them, and showing how in origin they were all true at one point, but then later on down the line, because of the scholars or because of their followers, their religions ended up dwindling away. They ended up becoming I guess, a pawn in Satan's play in order to misguide people by, as you said, divide and conquer.
Exactly, so. Well said.
So, Soheil, I wanted to ask you, once you came across the sermons of Ahmad al-Hassan, because that's quite a milestone usually in people's journeys when they find the Yamani and they find out that there's this man who is saying he is the Yamani, and especially for a Shia, for a 12er Shia, that's a huge deal, because we know about these characters, but we don't know who they are specifically, right? Growing up. And then you come across this person saying he is the Yamani. What was that like for you? How did you experience that? How did you find the sermons?
When I listen to his sermons, actually the first time I just listened to it rather than reading the subtitles.
Okay, just the voice.
Just
in
the
Arabic.
voice in Arabic. His voice, his commands, his message was divine. You know, if a person that has been searching for a while and you sit down and listen to the fathers, the Shia fathers, the Jewish fathers, the Christian fathers, and throughout life, and you've been to mosques, to synagogues, to churches, to Rome, and you've tried to find the truth. And when you don't find it, you listen to the Friday prayers, and sometimes, you know, you cannot act like you may speak in a very good way, but sometimes you mess up and say something that is questionable in your mind. You're like, is that true? Mm. And when you research it, you're like, no, I think there's more to it. But when you listen to Ahmed Hassan Yamani or Abdullah Hashim, everything makes sense. It actually clicks. And there's no question about it because it's so true and it's so simple. And it actually bridges the gaps, you know.
Yeah.
You know how, for example, as you were mentioning, that there's a Masonic figure. You know, if you're Hinduism, we're in the Kali Yuga. We're waiting for Kalki, and Kalki comes in the white horse. If you're a Shia you're a Muslim, Mahdi is going to come, and he comes in a white horse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you are a Christian and you believe in the second coming, Jesus Christ comes in a white horse.
So
exactly.
So you see there's
this pattern.
This pattern going on. And then you question, is that person the same person that is riding the horse, or are they different? And there's a lot of questions, and it's a journey. So you have one question and you go, and that question becomes 3 questions. That 3 questions, each one of those 3 questions becomes 3 more. So in order to answer it, you have to answer and do research and do a check, and try to answer all of them. And when you do that, do your due diligence, which all of us are doing, and we did the legwork for everyone on earth. So like it took me 2-3 years to go through everything, all the books from Quran to Old Testament, the New Testament, the Hindu Bhagavad Gita. And even the Gospels that are not even in the, that's, I think I read 30, 40 Gospels.
Like the Nag Hammadi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not in that, you know, then, yeah. So you go deep the rabbit hole. You take the red pill, trying to see what's the truth. You have to be a truth seeker.
Yeah, you have to be. Otherwise, we end up having this sort of tribal mentality. You know, a lot of people are out there giving dawah or debating or discussing, but on the lens of I'm right and they're already wrong. So whatever they say, I have to be defensive over. But I guess that's not the case for you, and that wasn't the case for a lot of us here, where when we, you know, are under the lens of scrutiny in our old religions, you know, we had to question ourselves, what is it that we believe in? Why do we believe in what we believe in? And I think that's what led a lot of us here to this call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is exactly it. I think that it takes that courage to go ahead and get those books and open them and read them. And when you've grown your whole life, especially as a Muslim, and you've grown up hearing that the Bible's wrong and the Old Testament is wrong and the Gita, don't even think about the Gita, you know, forget the Apocryphal and the Gnostic Gospels, oh my goodness, then it takes courage and it takes faith. It takes a true truth seeker like yourself to really go ahead and say, I'm going to read everything and look into everything and find out what's going on. Right? And that's why you ended up finding Ahmed al-Hassan, from him is peace. And you seem to have you really had that conviction from the get-go that this is the Yamani. It wasn't a question mark for you, it seems. Like you felt it.
Yes. And because when I see the world where we're at, you know, it's not a nice place. You know, when I was growing up in the 80s, and you know, you felt more God that was present. Right now everything is corrupt, you know, as far as companies goes. It's all push, money, geopoliticals, you know, everything has become self-centered, me against the world, me against you, me against that.
Me first.
Me first. If I think about me and then you think about me, we're like you and me, we're like opposites. But if I think about you and do everything for you, I give to you, you give to me. I give to you, you give to me, and the energy flows.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter. Like if you study psychology, this is how it works. It's a different language. Like it's psychology, but in religion, it's some sort. The psychology is embedded in it. And when you take a look at it, it makes sense.
Yes,
it
does make sense.
Yeah.
And so you found Ahmed al-Hassan, from him his piece, you watched his sermons, and then you came across the channel of Abba Sadiq.
That is correct.
Now, were you aware of who he was at all from before? Did you know about his previous works?
No, I was not. I had to listen to all his sermons and read the books and to know what is the call for and what is the message that he is trying to give to the world. And Abdullah Hashim and the family, they are literally telling, it's just peace and love. Everything is love, and there's no hatred or us against them. We're all children of Earth.
Absolutely.
And the current position that we're in on Earth with this whole war and everything, it makes it, unhappy, makes your soul unhappy, even though you can brush it off, say it's okay, but no human can lie to themselves. At the end of the day, when you go to bed, your conscience is aware that's what's happening. And those people who listen to them, to their inner voice, those are the people who find the truth. If you ignore it, that's how your heart becomes hardened. And as time progresses, if a person tells you the truth, you cannot see it because it has been hardened and you can't access it anymore. And it doesn't matter how you present with facts, with magazines, with text, with even physical miracles. They're like, no, I don't. There was a trickery in that. It's trickery. I don't believe that.
It's like what happened in the times of the different prophets and messengers before. They would come with these great miracles. I mean, look what Moses did, right? He split the sea, and still the children of Israel, to some extent, would doubt in him, or they ended up worshipping the golden calf.
After seeing so many miracles,
after seeing all that,
and it only took them 40 days. That's it, 40 days.
Incredible.
It's not even a quarter or 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
40 days, and they're like, how can you do that?
So I think the human being can be a bit fickle, and the way that you've put it is so true, that if you don't keep your heart open, and you don't accept truth for what it is, bit by bit it starts hardening, and you can't tell truth from falsehood anymore. And it's a very unfortunate state that people are in, and that's the whole point, I think, of Abba Sadiq's call, isn't it? It's to wake people up to that. And you resonated very strongly with that because you were a truth seeker, and you saw that this man is pulling people into the concept of look for the truth. So you came across his lectures. What was that like for you? Were you amazed by them? Were you taken aback? How was your experience watching his lectures? Do you remember what you came across first?
Can't remember. It's been a while. It's been
2 years,
3 years of
Wow.
journey. But some of the things that he was mentioning, it resonated with me throughout my life. Like throughout my life, I kind of knew inside of me that all religions are one, and there's a covenant, between every single one, and I knew that it was, but I didn't put the pieces together.
Right.
I knew pieces, here and there, but when you listen to Abba Sadiq, he puts his pieces together for you, so he's just giving you that information, and I want people to come to this with an open mind, open ears, and open heart, and don't judge it. Like for example, when you are traveling to another city, you don't judge it. You're like, let's go and have fun. Everything is fun. Everything is play. This world is a play. Mm-hmm. This is just a playground. It's just an assessment of the next world. It's just like to see where you stand, which one of the paradises you fall into, how many good things you do. Just do good things, help people, help them with their, education, help them with their health, help them with their anything, help your neighbor, help your mom, help your dad. Even though all of us have, ups and downs through our parents, through our marriages, but at the end of the day, the action of them hurt you, not the person.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's a perspective.
It's a perspective.
Right.
So with sitting down and listening to Abu Sadiq, you can understand the truth and reality. So you're like, you humble yourself. You humble yourself. And, that's the core teaching of all religions. The no attachment, non-duality. There's only one. Me and you are one.
Yes.
God created everything from one. If I don't know if you're a science fan or if you're a Big Bang fan, everything started from one.
Yes.
And when it started from one, that means we're all one. Me, you, him, this table, everything is God. Everything is God. And that's why when God says, I am closer to you than your neck's veins, because God is within us.
Exactly.
God, everything is God.
Exactly.
And when you disrespect anything, you're disrespecting God, because everything is God. And that's why the core teaching of all religions is love your neighbor, because your neighbor is your mom, is your dad, is your brother, is your sister, is your Buddhist, is your Christian, is your Jew, is your Muslim, is your everything. Everything is one. So stop fighting,
Yes.
And especially, right now, 50% of all the marriages end up in divorce. So you definitely feel it inside of you that you want your parents to stop fighting. So this is just like that, stop fighting.
No, you're so right, Soheil. I think that this is the effect that the call has on the world. This is the effect of Father's teachings when he speaks, when he writes, and we hear him. The inner goodness of Soheil, it immediately resonated with that and became your lifestyle. It became your perspective, and that's why you're sitting here with us right now. And this is how we want everyone to see and perceive the Ahmadi religion of peace and light. This is the purpose of Abu Sadiq's call. The Mahdi comes to awaken that understanding within the people. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I do have one question. So as you were watching the videos, or when you came across the channel of Abu Sadiq alayhi salam, what was it that made you feel like this is a guy? This is exactly who I'm looking for. This is what my next step is in my spiritual journey. What was it?
The fact that he is trying to bring everyone together. The first man that I have ever seen throughout my 40 years that is bringing everyone together. I don't want to go deep into the religion aspect or the will or any of that. Just as a human being, he is the only human being on earth is actually telling people, get to know each other, stop fighting, stop the wars, all of them, all over the world, and get close to the religion, and only God knows the truth. We're all do errors and have issues and mistakes. And our mind even changes on a day-to-day basis. Like today we think about something and tomorrow we change that. It's not constant. But the only thing that is constant and is absolute is God.
True.
Absolute light, absolute knowledge, absolute love. And through the prophets and messengers, they are the bridge between the divine God and me and you. So in order for us to know, we have to know the prophet of the time, and if you study, he is the one. He is the true Messiah that has been spoken of in every religion.
Yes, he is. He's the Mahdi, and he comes with Jesus Christ. He comes with all the prophets and messengers by his side. And I think that this is exactly as you said, that unifying force. The world needed a unifying force. It needed that there be a man who comes and says, okay, Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the Kalki, the Elijah coming back, all of these prophecies, they are real, they are true. And the people that they came for are good people, they're godly people who are one family, as you said, Soheil. And this is the beauty of this call, isn't it? I'm sure you noticed, and I want to get into this in a bit, but you must have noticed being here in this community, how many different people of different backgrounds and cultures are together here.
Of course.
And the fact that they are is a testament to the fact that this is that unifying religion, that this community is like that little seedling of what the world could look like.
Of course.
How beautiful it could be. We could live together in that peace. And I love that you made that big leap to be sitting here on this couch right now. And before we get into the community, I wanted to ask you, being a former 12 Shia, I myself was someone who believed in that and was going along with the path of the Ahlul Bayt and the Imams. But I never heard of the Mahdis, right? We never really were told growing up, were we, that there are 12 Mahdis as well?
Yeah.
Or that there's even a will of Prophet Muhammad. When you heard about that from Abu Sadiq, how did you feel about it?
It was interesting because I only thought there was only one Mahdi, just like how
exactly.
Abu Sadiq, even he thought there was only one Mahdi.
Right.
But that was an eye-opening. I was like, is it? But I kind of knew because I remember I asked my family members before, what's the difference between Qa'im and Mahdi? And why are there, and the main question is they say Qa'im, they will come and is going to unravel a lot of different things. And then they say, when Mahdi comes, he's going to come with peace. So there's this contradictory kind of So is it the same person but different times? Like he is Qa'im at first and then becomes Mahdi, or is it a complete two different people? And yeah, so and now I know there are two different people.
And you yourself, when you were getting to know this, because we were talking yesterday, right? We were talking to Soheil, and you were mentioning how you've been speaking to family and friends and people because it's such an important news, and you wanted to share it with the world and with those that are beloved to you. How would you approach the matter of the dawah, of the call, and how would they receive it? Also, what kind of people are you giving this call to? Are they 12 Shias? Are they different religions?
Everyone. There's no me and you. Everyone is one. So just like it's just like sales. When you do sales, you don't say, okay, I would not sell to this person. I'll sell it because it's everyone. You sell it to everyone. So just like how the pyramid schemes, you start with family and friends. They give you references, and it moves on. So that's what I started with. I started with my, family members, mom, dad, wife. And then extended family members, uncles, aunts, and then family members, colleagues, anyone. They're like, tell about the dawah, tell about don't you think things are a little bit chaotic in the earth stage, and what do you think is going to happen? And each person comes with a different background. And the great thing when you study all the books, you speak them within their own language.
Exactly. True.
So if I go to a Christian, tell them about Islam, they become very defensive. But when you tell them facts about everything that Jesus said, and they will listen to you more. About the second coming that is coming. Or in the Shia, if you talk to a Muslim, you tell them with their own background, their own knowledge, because that's how you connect with them.
Exactly.
And as we are all one and human, first we have to connect with each other first. After we connect and build that rapport, and we're a friend first, then I will tell you my story. You don't go to a person and say, hey, can I borrow your lawnmower? First, let's get to know each other.
Yeah, you tell your name,
And then you're like, hey, by the way, can I borrow that?
Exactly.
And so the same thing with this, you get to know that person heart to heart, eye to eye, and when you are caring, your soul speaks with you. Your energy, your aura, everything becomes peace, and you're not very pushy. You tell them, let them think, let them dwell on it. You're planting a seed. Abba Sadiq, Ahmed Hassan Yamani, they're planting a seed right now. Right now, the seed is in the darkness. That's why it's in. But when it rises, it rises, and eventually, people will know and see the difference that what is about to come, and when the time comes and the veil is lifted and people can see the truth, then people will decide which side they're going to take.
Yeah, so that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You did also mention that you've read most of The Goal of the Wise.
Yes.
Anything that stuck out to you, or that you thought was like, what would you say, I guess, stayed with you, or was your favorite part?
So many, as far as there are different lightings at the Seven Covenant, the entire Sixth and Seventh Covenant with the Adam and so forth till the seventh that we are in.
That's amazing, right? That it's all one story.
One
story. That was so huge for me as well, reading that and finding out that actually we're all part of the same family, the same story, and no one has put that together before Abba Sadiq. It's just so incredible.
It's a very incredible story that God is giving us. It started with Adam and Eve. It's a drama, comedy, action, love story. It's a big macrocosm story, but at the same time in a microcosm, because each one of us is contributing to this whole macrocosm. So it's a entangled thing. So it's a big story, and that's why we had 144 prophets and messengers, because these are stories for us to read, to know what would we do in a situation that's in our life that we can do. Business situation, marriage situation, partnership. If a person lied, if a person stole, if a person cheated, what are the circumstances? What are the ramifications of it? So that's why God showed these in a story-like form for us to read and learn from it and become close to God, how God wanted us to function as His creatures on earth. And that's how it's a beautiful story, and it's raveling as we go. So and we are almost at the end of the chapter. We're at
a very exciting point, right?
Yes.
So much to look forward to in the very near future. So now, Soheil, let's talk about you being here at the moment in the community. So you walked in through the gates, and you met with the different brothers and sisters, and you saw all these different, people from different backgrounds and cultures and speaking different languages. Let's talk about that experience for you. Have you ever seen anything like that before? How was it for you?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful that every person from different background, different religion, different skin color, different age, different genders, everyone believes in this, and it's beautiful how everyone's are connected, and eventually all the people who have heard will side with us, and we will grow eventually bigger, and as we progress, people will know. Always light will shine out of behind the clouds. Always the truth will unveil itself. It's just a timing.
It is.
It's just timing.
It really is. And I think that the most important part of your experience so far has been that you had the honor and the blessing of being able to meet with Abba Sadiq.
Yes.
Tell us how that felt.
Well, throughout my life, I always wanted to have a mentor. I studied business and accounting, and I always wanted to have a idol. But, I never had one. Like when I spoke, when you're a teenager, you're like in sports, is it Michael Jackson? No. Michael Jordan? No. If it's this person, that person, what are they trying to give you? And, it's a short satisfaction, but it is not continuous. But, when you become a certain age and you become wise and, you've seen all colors of earth, that, this is the truth, and, this is the idol. So when I met him, it's just meeting your idol first. So you're speechless, you're shocked, you don't know what to say, you probably might cry, your knees may get weakened because, you know, he's your idol. And at the same time, that is just, the way I'm speaking is just for the general public to understand. But, you know, when you see it in different eyes as he is the prophet, and then if you are a believer of any religion and you believe that if there's a prophet that we haven't seen for a long time, and when you listen to the speeches and sermons and how it makes sense, and, you know, you put two to two together, you're like, he's a prophet. You're like, wow,
that's true.
I'm meeting a live, actual prophet in my time. And, you know, and I don't know why people are not even here. There should be coming in waves, in waves, and hopefully we'll get there. But first, the world stage has to break.
Yes.
The world, there should be a breaking, a waking for shaking. So
a wake-up call.
The wake-up call.
Yeah.
When that carrot on a stick falls, and when the whole house of cards crumble, the dollar crashes, the oil crashes, the stock market crashes, the world war last starts, then people have to make decisions, either material world or spiritual world. They will, and then they have to make decisions. How can I find the truth? What can I do? How can I survive? Where can I take my wife? Where can I take my husband, my children? What's going to happen? Where's the safest place? And then people will come back, since we are planting the seeds and watering it and showing people, okay, we are giving the dawah out. This is the truth, because they have heard it. Even if they have agreed with it 0.5%, now with this, it becomes faster. It will escalate like a hockey stick. It will go up very fast.
Totally.
And it has been prophesied thousands of years ago that when even Qa'im comes, not a lot of people will join him. He is the silent one. Not a lot of people will join him. And same thing with Ahmad Hassan, not a lot of people will join him. But when Mahdi comes, everyone rushes to Mahdi. Everyone rushes to Mahdi. But he, Abu Sadiq Qa'im, he is the... not a lot of people will believe him at the beginning, but when things change, everyone will rush.
That's true. That's true. And, you know, that's what the narrations state. They state very clearly that when the people see what he has, they'll join him. It's a narration that basically states that they either join him because of greed over what he has, or fear over what they think that he might do to them. So yeah, you have these two different things, and that's the thing with the divine just state, is that, and the Go of the Wise mentions it, that the people just see his justice and how his state is run so beautifully, and how and the riches that come out of it, that all of these different nations would want to join it. And I think that's what's happening today, where the people are seeing the fruits of Abu Sadiq. They're seeing his knowledge, they're seeing how successful the Go of the Wise is, they're seeing how successful his call is, and they're even more so intrigued. You know, they're so intrigued about how is that such a man is able to know so much, and not just know so much, but take all the pieces of the puzzle and make a picture out of it. Whereas most people, most scholars of religion who have studied for years, decades, were not able to accomplish what he's accomplished.
Of course. And because of that, his knowledge is not a human knowledge. It's coming divine. It is coming from the source, and that's how you know he is the one. You know he is the prophet, and we should follow him.
He's the answer.
Yes,
he is the answer. You looked so amazed, and you had so much reverence on your face when you were walking through the doors of the Holy Basilica. I was watching how you came in and how you were so taken aback by all of it. It is such a beautiful room.
Yes.
but it's more than that, isn't it? It's kind of like a symbol for what we've been able to achieve so far, and what Abu Sadiq is preaching and what he's calling everyone to, which is exactly what you just described. And I think that the Basilica is that room that, and I know the viewers have seen it in the different lectures of Abu Sadiq and the sermons, but you were there in person yesterday for the first time. Must have been pretty amazing to go through that.
Yes. Everything is God, but wherever the prophet is, the Holy Spirit is, that is the sacred ground.
Exactly.
So the sacred ground has changed over the years from one location to another and to another, and it is where God sees himself to be present.
Yes.
So since God is present with Abu Sadiq, this whole location becomes sacred. And especially at the Basilica, which is the center of it all. And it's very, very beautiful, well painted, and the whole energy gets you. Yes. And especially after you sing thousands of hours of sermon at that location, you're putting, you actually witnessing that. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I'm so glad, Soheil, that you were actually able to describe it that way, because it was very fresh for you this morning, because you just saw it yesterday. So for you to describe it like that, it's really it's great. It's great to have that kind of experience out there for the people to hear. And I think it's very important that what you said earlier, that until the carrot falls from the stick and people realize, wait a second, it's not what we thought, until then a lot of people won't wake up. But we hope and pray that many do, like you did. You know, and there are a lot of people out there that are genuinely great people that are looking for an answer, and that found it with Abu Sadiq. And I think that we're that's what we're here for, isn't it?
Of course.
It's to reach out and make sure more people wake up, and hopefully they will.
Yes.
And Soheil, we have a lot that we want to discuss with you. We want to get into the latest lecture of Abu Sadiq as well that he delivered recently. We're going to be discussing that here in a bit. Let's go to a quick break, and we will be right back.